Hello everyone, welcome to Anu's classroom. In this session, we'll be talking about how we can design our questionnaires in order to conduct our researches and also in extension in your projects. So a few of the things that we'll be discussing today are what are introductory decisions, what all will be the contents of the questionnaire, how you would format the questionnaire, what are the various steps that are involved in questionnaires, so how do we structure and design our questionnaires, what is management of field work, that is how do we manage field work, and what are the few ambiguities in the questionnaire methods. So this is going to be a very short session, so let's get started. So questionnaire design. A set of questions with some options or even no options that could be asked for studying the respondents is what we tell as a questionnaire. Questionnaire could contain also, it should contain actually instructions for filling it, which the respondents have to follow in order to get proper answers, right? In order to meet our data collection objectives. If not, the data could mostly be useless for us if the respondents do not follow the instructions. So the questionnaire should be easy to understand. The language should be comprehensible for the interviewer as well as the respondent. Questionnaires will help the researcher in the data collection, and it makes a structure for the interview process as well. It gives the respondents options for answering questions in a very much structured way and helps in data processing also. So what are these introductory decisions in a questionnaire? The questions need to be designed in order to fulfill the research objective, and a researcher should evaluate the secondary evidence and information studies relevant to the present study also. So this makes things simpler to organize the latest research based on the previous study relevant to the subject at the site. So a lot depends on how we conduct the interview method used when developing a questionnaire. Multiple versions and questionnaires will be used in interviews conducted. Focus groups, phone interviews, mailed interview questionnaires, all these things. So even if it is the same questions that you are asking, when you do a face-to-face interview, you will formulate it in a different manner. You will, what you can say, formulate in a different manner. Similarly, the same thing if you are doing via a telephonic interview, it will be different. If you are using a Google form, it will be structured a little bit different, more different. So these are all the introductory decisions that we need to take while designing a questionnaire. So what are the contents of the questionnaire? How will you decide upon that? So a precise definition of the challenge and the following aims will heavily impact the question's content. So according to the researcher, each part of the questionnaire should contribute to the survey, and participants must also comprehend the question in the manner that is desired by the researcher. So this will remove any chance of incorrect responses. So in order to get to that, we could either use open-ended questions, close-ended questions, binary questions, ranking questions, or even multiple choice questions depending upon how we want to collect data and depending upon our research design, our research topic, all these things. So if you have to outline the steps that are involved in creating a questionnaire, first step is we have to identify our research aim and the goal of our questionnaire. Then we have to define our target respondents. Who will be our respondents? Who are we going to give this to? Are we going to are our respondents going to be school kids, college students, working people, householders, elderly people, disabled people? Who? All these things we have to make sure, like our target respondents, and accordingly only we have to develop the questions and also choose our question type. The design of the question sequence and the overall layout should all be same. If you design a questionnaire which is going to be answered by kids in a way that you will do, if you were to give this to PhD students, I'm sure not many kids are going to even get to answer number 2. Similarly, if you create a very kiddish type of questionnaire and give it to a PhD student, what they will do? They'll mock, right? So design the question sequence and the overall layout appropriate to your target respondents, and also definitely run a pilot study. So it is very important to design our questionnaire based on a conceptual framework, scrutinize each question for its relevance and clarity, and think of the analysis that you are going to perform at the end of the day, right? So at the end of the day, if your questionnaire and the way it is set up is going to make your life a living hell while you're going to perform analysis, it is not a good questionnaire at all, correct? So keep all these things in mind while you are preparing the questionnaire, while you are deciding upon the structure of this particular questionnaire. So field work. So what is field work? That this is going to be the last topic for this video. So field work is what you are going to actually get in the field and collect data, right? So data collection, especially even if it is in a marketing research study or things like that, may require utilizing the services of many interviewers. As most marketing research studies will involve extensive tours, the interviewer must have a very good health. She or he should have pleasing personality. They must have a command over their local or even some regional languages. They should be able to communicate freely with respondents. So all these things are important, right, when you are going and doing a field work. Since, see, for MBA projects and all, we ourselves would be enough, but you think about it in an organization perspective. Marketing is one area where we need extensive study. That is the only reason why I am talking about from that point of view. Okay, so before the interviewers are sent out for this data collection, they must be thoroughly briefed about the project and the manner in which data is going to be collected. And it is also necessary for continually, it is also necessary to continuously supervise the progress of work that is made by interviewers during the survey. Maybe the person who is doing the research may not be in the team of people who are going and collecting the data, or maybe even if they are, that will be only one person or a couple of people, but the interviewing or the questionnaire surveying is going to be done by many people. So whoever is going to do the interview, it should not be like, yeah, I'm doing this interview so that I'm going to get some money at the end of the day. Please don't ask me any tough questions, I don't know, you just fill it and give me. If that is the attitude for interviewers, means it is going to be very difficult to get proper data, right? So it is very important for us to make sure that the people who are actually doing the field work knows what they are doing, what is the importance of it, and everything. And you should also, even if they know, you should constantly monitor, because too many cooks, there is a high chance that the broth is spoiled. It is sometimes very necessary also to visit the field without the any prior intimation to the interviewer, in order to check that the interviews are following the instructions properly. Again, there could be, even if you do all these things, there could be ambiguities in the questionnaire methods. Unambiguous communication in the context of especially marketing research can be achieved if the question asked and the responses given mean the same thing to the interviewer and the respondent. If interviewer has, say, ABC in the mind when they are creating the question, but the respondent gets a feeling of XYZ, it is going to be totally what you can say, chaos. Correct. Ambiguity could arise due to, say, assumptions which are not communicated properly, or due to the nature of the open-ended questions that are being asked, or maybe the questions are too long that we feel bored and we lose our attention span. You know, the recent recent studies actually revealed that the attention span of a modern person is shorter than that of a goldfish. It is not even 9 seconds. I think it is some 8 point something. So if your questions are long, there's a high chance that answers are not going to come in as you need, or as is the correct manner. Using vocabulary that is unfamiliar to the respondent. Again, if you use Shashi Tharoor level of words in your questionnaire, nobody is going to take any glance at your questionnaire. They're not even going to answer one question properly, right? If they have to keep a dictionary with them in order to answer your question, is it going to work? No, right? Yeah. So question using words that are ambiguous in the context, combined questions, all these things could result in ambiguities in your questionnaire and will not be beneficial for your questionnaire or your research. So those are a few tips in how we can design our questionnaires. I hope this was a useful session to you all, and I also hope to see you all in the next session. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.